Well, greetings everybody and welcome back to our custom system survival. Again, it's been a little while since I was last here, but I figured it was time to actually get back to this, especially with the pending survival update, major survival update pending. I'll be honest, I'd actually like to eliminate the drone capabilities of our two bases before that drops in, what was it, about 3 or 4 days or something like that for us here. I think it's, I don't know what's the date today. The date today is the 24th here in Australia. Okay, I don't even know what the date is. Alright, so let's just get rid of that. So, since our missile was, guided missile was so effective last time, I figured I'm actually going to use that same technique this time round. Kind of thinking that it might be nice to actually turn our projector stand around, so I'm going to do that. Just makes it a little bit easier when it comes to launching the guided missile, of course. And now I'm actually hoping I've got enough room to be able to do this. It's going to be a bit tight, I think. Let me just... Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. That's great. I can't see sideways enough. It won't let me out of the... Oh, there we go. So basically what we're going to have to do is do this. And actually disable this landing gear here. I'm actually just going to turn it off. Does turning it off actually unlock it? Let's do that, then turn it off, just to be on the safe side. Because I would have thought, oh yeah, that's better. Oh, it has it that turning it off actually doesn't initiate the release of the lock. Okay, it's, what, a little bit too heavy? That's going to be making it fun then, hey? Is that tilted? It is tilted. I need to tilt it forward, don't I? Okay, now. Actually, I didn't want to just jump out of there just yet. I wanted to turn them off, turn that on. That's better. Alright, so that's just how to turn it around so our missile is actually going to face the right way. Although, I should have moved it back further. I think our missile is going to actually project too far over here and I'm not going to be able to open up the hangar. What am I talking about? The hangar's open. Alright, in that case. To start. Right. How can I not? Explosives, thank you. Alright, so that's the core. Radio components. I need more of them too. There should be plenty. Now, probably, I think I need to adjust the antenna range on these, I think. Did I set it for only 20 kilometers or did I set it for the full 50? Can't remember. Such a shocking memory I've got. I remember at the last minute probably. Okay, now. Huh? Oh, okay. I mean, if I was going to mass produce these, I'd actually set up like a welder wall or something similar to just pump them out a lot quicker than this and just draw its resources directly from the base. But I'm hoping I can get away with only a minimal number of these actually. They seem to be quite effective if I aim them right, of course. And the heavy armour at the front certainly seems to give them a little bit more of a staying power, which is really cool. Which is what I wanted anyway. Now that first pirate base, the one that was giving me the most trouble, that one's, well, its ability to spawn pirates, of course, is taken care of. Base is still pretty attacked, actually. But these other two are going to be a lot more fun. Ore handling facilities at a district headquarters, and I know the district headquarters is, well, I know its primary antenna is buried very deep inside the facility, so it's going to probably take a couple of these missiles to be actually punt through enough to actually stop any attacks coming from that quarter. That's it. We'll see what we can do. Alright, uranium. It would actually be nicer if it was an easier way to actually do this each time, but anyway, I could do that would be to cluster them all together near the back here and move this back thruster, say, further forward maybe, which might be a bit difficult actually if I put 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have to do it as 8 and use this just the back here as a single access point. I don't know whether this will do. Now, we look at our antenna. It's set for, okay, let's do that because I know we've got to go further than 20 kilometers. Our warheads, they're all set up. Excellent. In that case, there's no time like the present. Where are you? There you are. Let's see what you look like. Haha, neat. And that's not very nice. I really wish it wouldn't do that. Okay. I keep forgetting I should hit. I shouldn't do that. And yes, I armed the warheads quite early because of the heavy armor on the front. I mean, it can blow up because of incoming fire, but running at 100 meters a second, it seems to almost punch past their ability to target before they actually hit the warheads, which are embedded quite deeply as in the front nose cone. There's quite a bit of room in front of it, so heavy armor blocks and stuff. Now, here's the antenna on you. Okay. Did not take it out. Darn. Did I actually miss it altogether? Oh, I just took its leg off. Really? Really? And that appears to be what's left of it. Which means it didn't actually detonate properly. Alright, let's just sit here. Yeah, we've got a fleeting rival coming in. Lovely, lovely. Why are the projectors off? Because... no, because... okay. Should have aimed more at the ceiling of that base, right underneath where the antenna was. It's all good. Okay. I need more explosives. Still have more explosives. I really wish the projector would actually project properly. I always forget the girders on that. Lo and behold. See, projector's certainly not updating properly. A little bit on the frustrating side, actually, sometimes. Okay, radio. Oh, really? I forgot I needed them for those as well. Nice. Put this stuff away and I keep forgetting I need it. Yeah, the district headquarters I think is going to be the most challenging of these bases. They usually are. They've got well, they've got missiles. They've got pillbox turrets, external turrets, lots of internal turrets, multiple antennas. Although I believe there's only one that's actually used for spawning, and that's the one that's buried deep inside the base. And that's going to be the fun one to get at, because it's being deep inside the base. Really, the only way I can think of actually approaching this is actually coming from a very high angle and almost coming straight down on it, and see if I can punch in through the roof. Now, in fact, I think I'm going to take that approach when it comes to that one at least. Come up above it, out of range, so like 1200 meters, and just try and basically bombing run, if you will, straight onto it.
Energy low.
I know there's antennas on the top, so most likely they will end up taking the missile, but I might be lucky and it might be able to punch through. We'll see how we go when we get there, I guess. But that's to come. We'll worry about this first one here first. I didn't want to do that. It's too fast for it, and the key presses didn't register. Alright, I will actually just go and recharge before I proceed any further. We've got a fleeting rival coming in anyway. Whoa, what the heck? What took damage up there? You. That's all? That's all. Here it comes. There it goes. It's amazing how the sparks come all the way down here, isn't it? Oh, okay, that's all, is it? I don't think I have enough, do I? 6 short. Hmm. Clear and open sky. Oh, I don't want you. Go away. No, go away. Thank you. Now, will you look at that? That's actually turned both projectors off. How very interesting. Now, let's see if we can do this a little bit better. Let's make sure we've got everything set up right, and that's what I thought. Okay. But obviously is called Missile Warhead. So I got the name right. Excellent. It's funny now. I actually do quite enjoy playing on the Alien world, primarily because of the music that's currently playing right now in the background. One of my favourite sci-fi shows is Stargate, and ironically enough, this piece of music is very, very reminiscent of Stargate. Very similar theme was commonly used when dealing with the Goa'uld or Goa'uld bases and things like that. So this piece of music on the Alien world always struck me as very apt. And I think I actually just took it out. How did my missile antenna end up inside the base here? It obviously exploded. But it certainly didn't vaporize everything. Look at this. That's the back of the ship. That's pretty cool, actually. But yes, it most certainly took out the whole roof. Now that said, I just noticed that our district headquarters over here has released a drifting pursuant and a stinging adversary, and I'm going to scout it. Oh boy, this is not going to be fun. Oh boy, this is not going to be fun. Their antenna obviously can't see my base, otherwise they'd be heading over towards it. So I think that's a blessing in disguise. However, as you can see, the main antenna is actually inside the base. These ones up here, I think, are decoys. But it, yeah, appears to be down there. So I think what I was saying is might be right. If I come from a really high angle and actually try and pinpoint and... Ooh. That's going to make it difficult. And no, I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to look inside the base. Alright, there's the beacon. So district headquarters is the beacon. Just headquarters is the one I need to target. Now, it means that all these turrets and all these missiles are going to potentially be firing straight up at me. Oh, that's not gonna be fun. But I need to come down and see, they only separate at 100 meters out, so I'm gonna have to target straight down through there if I can. And I bet you that's all heavy armor too. Bet you that's all heavy armor. Okay, well, I think that's a plan. I think that's probably going to be the best plan, best course of action. Not necessarily going to be the easiest course of action, but I think it's going to be the best course of action. Projector for the missile. Yeah, see, it thought it was out of bounds and it wasn't. It didn't register that I actually put the block on there. Alright, well, that's it. That's going to have to wait for the next episode, because I think that's going to be an entire episode all on its own. It's not going to be an easy task, and I think it's definitely going to take more than one missile. In fact, I think I might produce a couple of missiles, maybe 3 or 4 missiles off stream in preparation for that. Just a little bit of prep work before we actually get into that episode, because I think it's going to be needed. I could then say, alright, then I'm going to actually go and I'm going to salvage those bases, which, I mean, I could, I guess. It's not going to be easy because, I mean, taking out the antenna just stops the drones coming and attacking me. Which, well, that said, will allow me the opportunity to be able to build the base a bit further and build up a few more resources and some heavier gunships. So, I mean, that's down the track. Just getting rid of those waves of enemies coming in for starters is going to be a good bet. I could probably leave the headquarters actually. It's far enough away that the drones tend to despawn before they actually leave because the drones themselves can't see me. I actually didn't think of that when I put those bases in. However, if there's drones, I mean, it will spawn drones as you get closer to try and attack it, so I suppose that in itself will make it more challenging as well, considering it's such a challenging base anyway. But, yep, that's for the next episode. Until then, thank you for stopping by, thank you for joining me. I hope you found it entertaining, and I hope you're as excited about the new survival update as what I am. I'm still not sure how it's going to affect this survival series or any further survival series. I might have to. I mean, I think I have already mentioned. I'm working on a new scenario, a very challenging, very tough scenario. I might have to revamp that based on the new survival update when it drops. I don't know. I was going to have a look at the testing releases. I thought about it, decided against it. I actually decided I would wait for them to actually drop the full release. And coming out of alpha, coming out of early access is brilliant. I've been following the game for quite some time, and I've seen quite a few changes as well, just like most of us actually. Very excited to see what's coming, and also very excited to see what Marek has actually been teasing at. Potential of ladders coming back into the game is what I'm getting from the couple of teasers so far. That will be awesome, because as it stands at the moment, if you're wanting a pseudo ladder type arrangement, we've got stairs. Stairs are all great. We've got vents, which you can use, not that one, which you can use like stairs like this, which is cool. It's just a 1x1. Or we've got stairs, which a lot of people use like this, which is a 2x1, 2 forward for only 1 gain. It is also cool. I quite often use them this way, as we saw in the. If we scoot up here and not slam into our little excavator, which I used in here, which are very much like a step ladder up against a wall, as opposed to just a ladder going straight up a wall. It's like a step ladder leaning against the wall, and these are quite nice. I actually like using these quite a lot. They're for only 1 block of lateral. We're going up 2 blocks, so it makes for a very quick, very compact staircase. As you can see, we go down 3 here, and it's all locked into the space of a 2 by 3. In a 2 by 3, we go 2, 4, 6. We can go up 6 blocks in a very, very narrow little stairwell. So that's quite nice, but it will be very nice to have ladders that go straight up a wall, if what Marek is hinting at is the case, which I think well, kind of implies it. He showed the original ladder and this last post. Okay, why are my hydrogen and oxygen not refilling? Are we out of... ice? We're out of ice. Well, guess what I'm going to do before I actually log off? I'm going to go and get some ice. And we've got this U-Butte miner over here. And we've got an ice lake over there. And we're locked. And we want to unlock that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, it'd be very nice to have ladders again, but also all the other updates, all the changes as well, all the new progression system, very much excited to see that and play with that and see how I can integrate it into building scenarios, because I think it's going to add a lot of additional gameplay. I mean, I was already, well, not the progression side of it, but I was already working on a new scenario which was a very extreme survival type start. This one was kind of like, oh, nice. This scenario start was kind of like that, starting with no med bays, difficulty in finding silver to be able to make medical components, starting with just a cryopod, things like that. My new scenario was going to be even more challenging. I mean, at least with this scenario, the crash ship that I started you with, it had a refinery, had an assembler. Whereas the new scenario I was working on, you started in an escape pod, just like the new survival update does, and you started with components for what you didn't actually start with, and you had very limited power, which meant that if you weren't careful when it comes to landing on the planet or moon, you could very easily crash yourself, because the escape pods were incredibly underpowered, and I mean incredibly underpowered, barely enough to get you off the ground. So free falling from orbit meant that you had to be very careful with how you approached the ground to be able to land safely, or at least come down safely. Let's just see how much ice we managed to get so far. Oh, that'll. I'm still going to work on that scenario because it's a rather extreme scenario. Very, very challenging scenario. But once the new survival update drops, I'll probably revamp it to make use of the progression system and the new survival kit and things like that. Don't know. That's just it. Don't really know yet until it drops, so we'll see what happens in about 4 days' time. Well, for me it'll be 5 days' time because it's the 24th here, but pretty much it's the 23rd anywhere else. Actually thereabouts, and I think it's just turned the 24th in a lot of other, like in the US and things like that. I actually think that probably will be enough ice. I think I got 120-ish. Yes, this new scenario I'm working on also utilises a custom speed mod. I haven't yet put it on the workshop, but I will put it on the workshop so it makes it easy for people to use. Now this speed mod is, I've had people tell me it's too extreme. It actually sets the maximum speed for large and small grids, both of them the same, at 1,000 meters a second. Now, before anybody says, oh, that's too fast, yeah, if anybody watches the current space program that's going on SpaceX, Blue Origin and so on, take careful note, if you will, of the speeds that they are running at. Now, I just recently watched the SpaceX recent launch a couple of days ago. And no joke, they were hitting over 1,000 meters a second before they had reached 20 kilometers in height. That looks like iron rocks over there. Or are they trees? I'm going to have to check that out. No joke, they weren't even 20 kilometers up and they were already exceeding 1,000 meters per second, which is only 3,600 kilometers per hour. Now, space vessels we're dealing with here, space vessels, remember? Space, no friction. We've got inertial dampeners that allow for control, but if you turn those inertial dampeners off, then whilst you can apply thrust, I mean, crumbs, the startups of the game actually states the laws of for everybody, everybody in motion will remain in motion unless it's acted upon by an external force and things like this. Newton's laws of motion and so on, whatever. You get my point. So 1,000 meters a second, believe it or not, is not an excessive amount. In regards to a space game, I actually find that 1,000 meters a second is actually slow. Very, very slow. As spaceships should theoretically be able to travel much more than 3,600 kilometers per hour. So that said, I do utilise that speed mod privately in some of my own survival games, and the new scenario I'm working on will actually utilise it in there as well, because that in itself actually does bring its own challenges as well. Welcome challenges. And before anyone says, oh yeah, you don't need to travel that fast on a planet, believe it or not, you don't. The closest I've ever come to, well, the most, because I play on planets. Oh, how did you become damaged? I think about 200 to 300 meters a second is the fastest I've actually generally will get on a planet. You don't actually get faster than that. I think I don't need that either. In space, even then, you don't generally get faster than that. At 1,000 meters a second, believe it or not, I don't think I have. I've actually ever pushed a ship up to 1,000 meters a second, because generally the distances you need to travel don't warrant it, unless you want to fly directly to the moon from the Earth, which is only 300 and something kilometers away. 1,000 meters a second will get you there, and without it taking hours. But that said, also, it just gives you a more realistic idea of the speeds. That's better. Of the speeds that, well, you should expect actually in space. So, there we go. Why is? Oh, okay. I've got nowhere to store ice other than. Huh? Ah, okay, because we're not storing ice anywhere else. Okay, that's cargo. We'll stick it on this one. And it is ore, ice, priority 1. Excellent. I got that much. Good. That should keep me going for a while. Okay. Well, alright, as I started saying before, I need lighting in here. As I started saying before I discovered I was out of ice and decided to go and get some. Oh no, funny looking tree. Thought it was iron. Look, I was still getting myself distracted. Better stop that, hey. Alright. Okay, that's it. Settle, stop. Alright. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for putting up with my waffling on, and I hope you found this an entertaining episode. And I hope you'll drop back at some stage when I stream next on this episode, on this series, and follow along. Until then, again, thanks for stopping by, and happy engineering.